Greetings viewers, welcome to Righteous Academy. So I welcome you all to this tutorial video where I'll be teaching mathematics on this topic known as invaluation. Mathematics. So this topic is known as invaluation. So invaluation, these are questions that usually come in paper 1. So these are questions having the power 0, having the negative number being squared, having the square roots, the cube roots, then the negative power, having the power, which is a fraction. So the topic is known as invaluation. So invaluation, to start with, we have to know these 5 rules of which I've written here. Number 1 being the power 0, second negative number being squared, and third we have addition of the whole number and the fraction. And on number 4 we have the negative power, and number 5 fraction being the power. So number 1, I'm just going to start with number 1. Number 1, where we have the power 0, what we mean is there are times when you have a negative number which has a power 0. Here we have no brackets, so the power 0 here it is only applying to 1. So the negative it is going to remain. When the power 1 power 0 it is going to be equal to 1. So our answer here is going to be negative 1. Then there are times when you have negative 1 inside the brackets in power 0. So here now the power 0 it is applying both to the negative and the 1. So here your answer is going to be 1. And there are times we decide to use letters. And when we decide to use letters, we may say negative x power 0. So negative x power 0, here we're going to have the power 0, it is only applying to x. So the negative is going to remain when the x, which means 1. Here our answer is going to be negative 1. Then sometimes we may write it as negative x inside the brackets in power 0. So here what we mean to say is the negative or the power 0, it is applying now to the negative and the x. So here we are going to have 1 as our answer, because anything raised to a power 0, it is 1. Then we move on to our second rule, of which we need to know negative number being squared. So here we have negative 2 power 2. Then second on A we are going to have negative 2 power 2. Then on B we are going to have negative 2 inside the brackets power 2. So here what it means is that the square it is only applying to 2. The square it is only applying to 2 and not to the negative. So the negative sign is going to remain negative. Then 2 power 2, it means 2 multiplied by 2. So negative 2 multiplied by 2, we are going to have negative 4. Then we move on to this one. Here we have negative 2 squared. So here the negative and the 2, it is inside the bracket. Then here we have the square. So the square it is now applying to the negative and the number. So here it means the negative 2 being multiplied by itself. So the negative 2 multiplied by negative 2, it is going to give us 4. So this is what we need to understand to avoid making mistakes. Then number 3, we have addition of the whole number and the fraction. There are times when you are solving these questions, you may reach a stage where you have a whole number when you are adding with a fraction. So we are going to have this example as A, then here as B, where you have 2 plus 3 over 4. So there are times when you have this as your last stage. So here what we need to understand, you just have to get the whole number, you write it, then you also get your fraction and write it this side. Then you end there. So then on B, you also have to apply the same thing. So here we have 2 as our whole number. You just write 2. Then you get also this fraction and you write it near 2. There is no need to start solving because you have already understood this from grade 5 going down. So this is all you need to do. Then number 4, here we have a negative power. So number 4, we have a negative power. So I've said about power 0, the negative number squared, addition of a whole number with a fraction. So here we have a negative power. So a negative power. You may have a whole number 2 having a power which is a negative number. So 2 is a whole number, so this is going to be our example A. Then B, we are going to have a fraction. So we are going to have 3 over 2 inside the brackets and power negative 2. So here what it means is, here where we have a whole number, we have to follow step 1, which says, step 1, make this whole number into a fraction, or write up this whole number into a fraction. So to write a whole number into a fraction, we all know that we are going to say 2 over 1. We have not changed anything. So we have just written this whole number into a fraction. Then after writing this whole number into a fraction, you reciprocate, because the negative sign here, it means inverse. So the number at the bottom, it is going to come on top. When the number on top, it is going to come at the bottom. So you are going to have, as a result, you are going to have 1 over 2 power positive 2. It is no longer a negative, because the negative sign means inverse, of which we have just done here. So here now, the 1 has a power which is 2. Then also the 2 which is at the bottom also has a power which is 2. So this is what it means. Then after doing this, 1 squared, it is equal to 1. Then 2 squared, it is equal to 4. So this is going to be your answer. Then on B, here we have a fraction, 3 over 2. 3 over 2 inside the brackets having a power which is negative 2. So we're going to start by the meaning of the negative. The negative means an inverse sign. So the number at the bottom, it is going to come on top. When the number on top, it is going to come at the bottom. So you are going to have 2 over 3 in the brackets, in a positive 2. Then after this, now this power 2 applies to 2. This power 2 is applying to 3. So on top we have 2 power 2. Then at the bottom, 3 power 2. So 2 power 2 is going to give us 4. Then 3 power 2 is going to give us 9. So this is an improper fraction. Then the last one, which is a fraction being a power. A fraction being a power. So you may have 9 power 1 over 2. Sometimes you may have 4 2 over, or let me just say 4 3 over 2. 3 over 2. So this is going to be our second example. So example A, we have 9 power 1 over 2. Then example B, we have 4 3 over 2. So here where we have a whole number, step number 1, what we need to know about this fraction. So our fraction, it is 1 over 2. So the fraction, what it means, the number on top, it is going to be a power. Then the number at the bottom, it is going to be a root. So the number at the bottom, it might be a square root, a cube root, a fourth root, fifth root, sixth root. Then the number at the top, it is going to be the power. So here, according to this question, we are going to have 9. We are going to be starting with the root. After applying the root, then you apply the power. So now, step number 1, here we have 9 1 over 2. So 2, which means the square root. So here we're going to write the square root, then put 9 inside. Then you apply the brackets. Then on top you have 1, which is going to be the power. You write 1. So here the square root of 9, it is going to give you 3. Then 3 power 1, it is only 3. Then we move on to second example where we have 4 having a power which is a fraction 3 over 2. So the 2 at the bottom, it is going to act as the root. Then the 3 at the top, it is going to act as the power. So here we're going to have 4 inside, then open the brackets and close bracket. Then here we have power 3. So after writing this, the square root of 4, it is going to give you 2. Then 2, and outside you have a cube. So 2 cubed, it is going to give you 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2, 4 times 2, 8. So your final answer, it is going to be 8. So these are the rules of which one has to know on evaluation to avoid making certain mistakes. So number 1, here you have power 0. Number 2, negative number squared. Then number 3, we have addition of a whole number and a fraction. Then number 4, negative power, having a power which is a negative. Then number 5, we have a fraction acting as the power. So this is what you need to understand. So now you can go and solve questions on evaluation. So these questions on evaluation usually come as find the value of or evaluate, or they usually come as evaluate, find the value of. So you can now go and solve some questions on evaluations. If you face any challenges, come into your WhatsApp group and comment, or on the comment section on YouTube. You can leave your suggestions, you can leave your ideas, and if you happen to want more information on the content I'm uploading, you can join our WhatsApp group for more information. So this has been Righteous Academy. Do not forget to subscribe, share the videos.
This is Righteous Academy, where we explain in simpler terms. Righteous Academy, got you covered, no worries, we are here.